Hey everybody, today we're going to show you how to build a river table from start to finish. First up, you want to build your mold. We use 3/4 inch plywood and tuck tape. We screw all our molds together and then we apply our silicone. We run a bead along all of the joining pieces. You want to make sure that it's a 100% waterproof seal so you don't lose any epoxy to leaks. Next up, we apply silicone to the bottom of the slabs and place them in the mold, and the silicone on the bottom of the slab is to help any of the epoxy from leaking under the slabs themselves. The next step is to place some blocks on the slabs themselves. Then we run some cross braces across, clamp them down, making sure that the slabs stay nice and tight to your mold, keeping even pressure, and then we put some more silicone along the edges of the slabs. You're going to want to make sure that your form is 100% level. This will make sure that you get a nice even coverage of the epoxy when you do your pour. We use a product called Chill Epoxy from Polymers Technologies. There's a few different versions that they have. In this case we're using Chill Ice 1, which allows us to pour up to 1 inch thick at one time. It's a 2-to-1 ratio of epoxy and hardener. Just follow the directions, stir for 10 minutes, and you will be fine. We add a color pigment, in this case called White Russian, to give us a really nice pearly look. Next up is when you actually get to pour the epoxy. You're going to want to take your time doing this, and with polymers you don't have to worry about bubbles that pop themselves. Now after roughly 48 to 72 hours, your table and the epoxy should be nice and hard, it should be cured, and it's time to take it out of the mold. This is the most exciting part, when you get to see your creation come to life. I use wooden shims underneath the table itself to help pop it off of the bottom piece of the mold. Just helps to distribute the pressure and not put too much pressure on any of the joints. And it'll pop off nice and easy after. Next up, I run the piece through our 20-inch planer to clean up the excess epoxy and give us a nice flat table. Then I trim it down on the table saw to the final length and width. Next up is sanding, lots of it. We sand from 60 grit to 4000. Next up is applying finish. In our case we use Rubio Monocoat Pure as our finish product. Then we attach our base, in this case hairpin legs. And the final step, marking your product. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to fire me a message, a DM. I'll answer the best I can.